Hey everybody, what's up from Roll, Minnesota, your state of skate. Hey, I'm Butch Lehman, and today we're in for another episode of Rolling Reactions. Before we get started in this episode, I want to acknowledge it was recently Thanksgiving, and I just wanted to share thanks with all of you for supporting this channel. Special thank you to my local community of inline skaters. Love you guys, you're the best. And then most importantly, I want to say thank you for just rollerblading in general. It's a pleasure to be part of this hobby and sharing in this passion with all of you. So let me know down in the comments below, what is something you're thankful for? Anyway, guys, speaking of thankfulness, there's a skater that is somebody that I've always thought was incredibly underrated when I was growing up younger, and he was putting down massively technically proficient tricks 10 plus years ago for just a young guy. His name, if you remember him, was Trevor Tylosky, and this guy was just bonkers with the level of skill that he had at a young age. He was better early on in his skating career than I've ever been at any point in my life. Anyway, we're going to look at some of those bangers, going back to his early profiles, starting with iRollerblade, which is a phenomenal video, has a lot of great parts in it. I would strongly recommend checking that video out. Then we're going to take a look at his section in Slideshow, which is another really quality piece, showcasing some really top-tier talent. Lastly, we'll check in with the most recent video I could find of Trevor, and that was a Denver Park edit from 2018. So if any of you know what's going on with Trevor, or if he has any plans on getting back into blading as we're seeing a lot of older skaters do, with success, Demetrius George, David Sizemore, I guess he never left. We could put John Bolino in that category too. I think the door's wide open for a return. I'm just saying. Anyway, guys, let's roll into this one. All right, I had David Sizemore on my mind because of this video. His profile in iRollerblade was one of the craziest sections that I'd seen in a long time back then. And Trevor Tylosky definitely sets the tone for that whole video here. Unfortunately, he got really close to landing this trick, and we've all been there before, getting the boot from security. And here he is. You can tell that at this point in his career, he's just a little guy, but don't let looks deceive you, because he's coming in zero, Mizu, switching it up, going with a really nice backslide with a grab. And he's jumping into tricks on rails that are like almost shoulder height for him some of the times, and even getting some spin tricks in, which even for those of us that are fully grown and older and experienced, these are really, really tough tricks. Like, look at this. He does this spinning hurricane cess slide into sweaty and is able to revert off in the other direction, which is really what makes that trick a banger, in my opinion, is that revert out. Just destroying this rail, and I remember this rail getting like all of the love from all of the guys in iRollerblade. It always scared me because it has that signpost right at the bottom to run into, especially with some of the speed and spin tricks that were thrown on that rail. Just seems like a really deadly down rail to take those types of tricks to. One of the other things you'll notice about Trevor's skating is not only is he really well versed in these spin variations and switch ups, but he's also able to hold some one-footed grinds for a really long time. Speaking of which, he's got the front torque there, which is not an easy trick to do on anything, let alone ledges. Just really casual on the rail there, looking really comfortable. We're going spinning into this down rail as well. That was always my type of preferred skating growing up in this age. I think this was about 2008, maybe 2009 when this video was produced. Is that type of spin to win style skating was very much in style at the time. And to a degree, it's something that's still an industry standard. Most profiles are going to feature some spinning type grinds. But there was a lot of progression made during these years, taking it to bigger obstacles, drop rails, and such. They were checking out that torque again. I see what you did there, Trevor. I really like that one. And I don't know if this is maybe unfair to compare skaters, but I do feel like Trevor's skating was very reminiscent of early David Sizemore, and maybe with like a touch of John Bolino. You know, get that little kick out on that grind, and I just really feel like he had solid style, and often that's something that takes a while to develop for skaters. For me personally, I wouldn't consider myself a very stylish skater, but I didn't really start getting comfortable with my own body movements and positions until well into skating. We're talking like 10 plus years. So if any of you are coming back to blading or just starting, I wouldn't overly stress about style and trying to dial everything in perfect. Just the longer you skate, the more natural it'll become. You'll sort of take your own ownership over what skating looks like and feels like for you. Hey, Hey, there we go. We got redemption on the trick. We'll continue that over into this profile. This is Slideshow. I believe this was a year or two after iRollerblade. I guess I'm not 100% certain on the chronology. You guys can correct me if you know better. But this is another one that I always felt was criminally underrated. The filming and editing on this video, top notch. The skating, like we're going full true Mizu down a down rail with a revert out. Getting some kink rails here. Just look how much he's squatted down on that. You can tell that the rail is tall, but that's not stopping him from pulling these types of tricks. 360 top sole, 360 sole. Just being able to have the ledge awareness to hold that and then switch back up into top sole. Like those are things that take a lot of time and effort and practice and just repetition to really get the feel of how to deal with the ledge. Got a nice transfer from ledge to rail into true top sole, or maybe top soyal. I guess I'd have to check that again. But some really great combos here. In spin top sole again. Look how crouched he is on that. Man, to have knees like that once again. Got those hurricanes. I've always been jealous of those. There's a number of skaters that can hurricane cess slide like nobody's business. And I don't get it personally. I would love to, though. I'm super jealous. I think this whole video could come back to Tree. He released his 2021 video recently, and there's an advertisement that I think some of you saw about Tree's knees. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to go look that up right now. Tree's knees give you the flexibility, the bendability, the cess slide ability. That dude is amazing, and I'm going to be reviewing some of his skating on this channel in the near future. In fact, I've been really excited to unveil him. Going back to Trevor, though, just murdering this ledge, getting a nice line. How about a perfect rail for this? Look at this thing. Going right down the middle of the staircase, looking nice and low. Surprisingly, it's not Mach 5. He's not just booking it down the hill, which I guess is what you'd expect from a rail like that when it's a down rail. That was beautifully executed. The shirt on that one and the style and the rem skates was reminiscent now to me of Haffy. I guess that's a good thing if I can be watching somebody at this age skate and seeing David Sizemore, John Bolino, Chris Haffy as I'm watching him. I think that's good company to be in, if you ask me. 3 top sole, the front royale coming off really clean on that one as well. Look at the hold on this true top soyal. Just locked in, taking it the distance. Got the full true Mizus down as well. That's a trick I've always personally struggled with. What a rail to do 450 royale on. Like, this is a tall rail for anybody, let alone for a little guy. So definitely don't want to take anything away from Trevor. And this was always my favorite trick, I think, in this edit, was going from the underbar, spinning up onto the top bar. I guess I don't really understand the physics of how you get your feet from under the rail and then back over. Chris Farmer might be a good person to consult about that here in Minnesota. He's the ultimate skater when it comes to transfers from underbars to top bars. A lot of videos of Trevor were skating that rail, that curved square rail. He just destroys that thing. 360 top acid, getting 2 angles, switching up into a royale. Like I said, he's just a really good all-around skater, and I'm wondering what happened to the man. You guys gotta let me know. Alright, so as you can tell from the title, the theme of this video is about what happened to Trevor. Like, is he still out there? Is he skating somewhere? That's what I need to know. This is really the most recent thing that I could pull up for Trevor. And even in this, if he hadn't been skating and this was like his comeback edit, he's doing things right because he's doing some amazing tricks all these years later. I believe this was from 2018 at a Denver skate park. And I don't know what's going on in Denver, but this park looks amazing. I need to get out here. Got transitions for miles, and for those of you that have watched this channel, you know that that's my favorite obstacle for skating is transitions, quarter pipes, mini ramps, stuff like that. I'm definitely a skate park skater primarily. I do like street too, but I'll take transitions any day. There's coming up fakie into the forward mistrial. Not an easy trick there either. Going up to the extension, back into the transition. Just getting a lot of lines. We've got the 270 backslide to top sole. That one kind of reminds me of my buddy Dave. He's really good at that trick. Really good at the 270 backslides. There's nothing better than when you can get a skate park lit up at night on those hot summer days and get some that cool night air while you're skating. It's really crisp. It's refreshing. I don't even know what was going on with that alley fish. It was like an alley Christ fish, but also like a grabbed fish. It had a little bit of everything going for it. Check this out. This is my favorite trick from this edit. True spin Mizu to front torque to true spin Mizu, making the full 360 rotation. That feature looks pretty cool. This does too. Like, I'm a sucker for sea ledges. I've mentioned that on the channel a few times before too. But I like how the sea ledge just kind of sucks you in and keeps you locked in and around the transition. Coming back, hitting the line here. Look at that, is like back torque locked into Makio. I wonder if that was intentional. Didn't look intentional. That 270 backslide that we were talking about earlier. Trying to figure out what kind of skates he's skating here. I can't quite make it out. Constantly in shadow. If you guys know, let me know about that too. Definitely not Rems, and that was he was skating originally, was Remedies. Are they USDs? Look like maybe some form of the carbons. I really can't tell, guys. Help me out here. He's making it look good, though. I do like, too, how the skates match his clothing. Here he's got the brown shirt and the black pants, and the skates are brown and black as well. There was a nice true spin Makio. Getting the grab. Got the zero spin Makio on that one. Another really cool looking feature there. Looks like that has some opportunities for some transfers and transitions. He just ran the cameraman over. What are you doing, Trevor? Come on. Ooh. That pool coping up there? That stuff's hard to grind. If you guys have ever skated pool coping, it's tough. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this episode covering Trevor Tylosky. Again, really talented skater, one of the younger icons of our sport. I'm not really sure what happened to him. He seemed like he had the whole world ahead of him. The world was his proverbial oyster. And I hope he's doing all right. I hope he's healthy and that he's not dealing with injuries. I know sometimes that's an issue for people that end up leaving the sport, and that's always sad to see. Maybe he'll make his return to blading. Maybe he's been blading this whole time. I really don't know. But what I can tell you is I really admire his skating, and I feel like he was a very strong skater, incredibly technically proficient at a very early age, and somebody that was pushing the progression of our sport in one of the eras when it was progressing the most. So anyway, those are my thoughts on Trevor. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on Trevor as well. And I'm going to throw this out there as well. I talked about my thank yous earlier on, that I'm thankful for my friends. I'm thankful for the sport. I'm also thankful to see the number of returning bladers that we have out there. Whether they're returning pros, like some of the ones mentioned earlier with Demetrius George or John Bolino, or anybody that's returning to the sport. If you're coming back, you're part of the resurgence of blading, and you're one of the primary reasons why this community is gathering momentum right now, why companies are emerging. And that's really gratifying to see. I know personally we have a number of new skaters here in my neck of the woods in Minnesota, and each and every one of you deserve to be validated and valued for what you're bringing to the sport. I firmly believe that. Even if you don't feel like you're particularly good at skating, you're welcomed here, and I'm glad that you're with us. Anyway, guys, I hope that message hits all of you. I'm Butch Lehman of Roll, Minnesota, and remember to stay safe, stay healthy, and all of you, get out there and do some rollerblading. Till next time, everybody. Peace.